The theme of the scripture is Yahushua, and how he died to save man. The plan of salvation assures us he's coming back again. Are you ready for Yahushua HaMashiach to come? Are you faithful in all that you do? Have you fought a good fight? And have you stood for the right? And have others seen Yahushua in you? Are you ready to stand in your place? Are you ready to look in his face? Can you look up and say, this is my King? Are you ready for Yahushua HaMashiach to come? Don't cling to the certain is treasure. This earth will soon pass away. Then give him your love without measure. He's calling you today. Are you ready for Yahushua HaMashiach to come? Are you ready to stand in your place? Are you faithful in all that you do? Are you ready to say, this is my King? Are you ready for Yahushua HaMashiach to come? Are you ready for Yahushua HaMashiach to come? Are you faithful in all that you do? Are you ready to stand in your place? Can you look up and say, this is my King? Are you ready for Yahushua to come? Good evening, world. 6th day is now ended. since the Sabbath of the third quarter of the moon, TEBETH 22nd, 6006. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the sixth day, Yahuwah ended his work which he has made, and rested on the seventh day. Thus Yahweh blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and those also who pierce him, and all the kingdoms of the earth shall mourn because of him. Yes, 6 days is now ended, and I am on the street this evening, not in the street, exactly in the park, to acknowledge and to welcome in Yahweh's set-apart Sabbath of the fourth quarter of the moon of the 10th biblical lunar month, TEBETH 29th, 6006. This is going to be the last Sabbath, the last creation Sabbath of the 10th biblical lunar month. And I am here this evening to acknowledge Yahweh's Sabbath and to welcome in Yahweh's set-apart Sabbath of the fourth quarter of the moon. And I am here this evening to declare to the world that Saturday nor Sunday is not Yahweh's Sabbath. Saturday was fixed as the Sabbath by Constantine of Rome in AD 350. This evening, I want to pause to give Yahweh thanks and praise for keeping his words and for revealing his secret and his words to his servants, the prophet. For over 1,008 years, the world have been deceived by Rome. Yahweh's Sabbath has been, and his feast days have been removed from the phases of the moon by Constantine, and the pagan feasts are all placed upon Yahweh's creation Sabbath. If not exactly on the Sabbath, it's either a day before or a day after, because only Yahweh's time is precise. I would like to read a few texts which tells us, which we can see that Yahweh's Sabbaths is determined by the new moon. But first of all, I want to pray that Yahweh will bless his words to our heart this evening, and that Yahweh in his love and mercy will cause us to walk in his statutes, walk in his commandments, and in his judgments, so that we can receive the blessing that Yahweh has for us. In Deuteronomy 28, Yahweh gave Israel his words, his laws, as a blessing if they would obey his statutes and if they would keep his commandments. I think I would just like to read a few verses of Deuteronomy 28, because it is in this chapter both blessing and curses are placed upon Yahweh's people according to the conditions that Yahweh laid out for his people, because Yahweh's promises are true and faithful, but they are based upon conditions. And it will be, if you will listen diligently to the voice of Yahweh your Father, by observing and doing his laws, which I command you this day, that Yahweh your Father will set you on high above all the nations of the earth, as his kings and his priests. And all these blessings will come upon you and accompany you, because you obey Yahweh your Father. Blessed will you be in the city, and blessed will you be in the country. Blessed will be the fruit of your body, and the produce of your ground, and the young of your livestock, the cows and the herds and the lambs and the flocks. Blessed will be your basket and your storehouses. Blessed will you be when you go in, and blessed will you be when you go out. Yahweh will cause your enemies who rise up against you to be defeated in front of you. They will come out against you from one direction, but flee from you in 7 directions. Yahweh will send a blessing on your barns and storehouses, and in everything that you set your hand to do. Yahweh will bless you in the land which Yahweh your Father is giving you. Yahweh will establish you as his holy people unto himself, if he promise, as he promised you on oath, if you will keep his laws, if you will keep the laws of Yahuwah your Father, and walk in his ways. Then all the people of the earth will see that you are called by the name of Yahweh, and they will fear you. Yes, this is the promise that Yahweh made to Israel. But as we know, Israel rejected Yahweh and his laws, and as a result, Yahweh have scattered his people all over the face of the earth. I think I would like to also read Lamentation 2 and verses 1 to 6 to show us that Yahweh's Sabbath has always been determined by the new moon since the fourth day of creation. Yah is moving by his spirit, moving in all the earth. Signs and wonders when Yahweh moving, move, oh Yahweh in me. Yes, Israel has rejected Yahweh's laws, his statutes, and his commandments. And as a result of that, Yahweh has caused his Sabbaths and his feast days to be forgotten. And I'm just going to read this, and I pray that we will listen to this, because Yahweh does not what should I say? Yahweh does not, let's just say, joke when it comes to obeying his words, when it comes to obey his word. And it says, how Yahweh has covered the daughters of Zion with a cloud. In his anger, he has thrown down the heavens to the earth. He has thrown down from heaven to earth the glory of Israel, and did not remember his footstool in the day of his anger. Yahweh has swallowed up the habitation of Jacob, and has not spared in his wrath. Yahweh, in his wrath, he has thrown down the fortress of the daughters of Judah. He has brought down to the ground. He has polluted the kingdom of its princes. In his fierce anger, he has cut off the horn and strength and pride of Israel. He has withdrawn his right hand at the approaching of the enemy. He has burned against Jacob like a burning fire, which devours on every side. He has bent his bow like an enemy. His right hand he has prepared. Like an adversary had slain all who were pleasing in the eyes of the tabernacle of the daughters of Zion. He has poured out his fury. Yahweh has become an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel. He has swallowed up her palaces. He has destroyed her fortresses. And has increased mourning and lamentation in the daughter of Judah. He has laid waste his tabernacles as if it were a garden. He has destroyed his places of the congregation. Yahweh has caused the appointed feast and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion. In the indignation of his power, he has despised the kings and the priests. Yahweh has rejected his altar. He has abhorred his sanctuary. He gave over to the enemy the walls and the palaces, and have made a noise. And they have made a noise in the house of Yahweh, as though it were an appointed feast. Yes, Yahweh has caused his Sabbaths to be forgotten. And no doubt, he has probably used Rome to do this. Constantine of Rome, who changed Yahweh's Sabbath from the moon phases. And so Yahweh commanded Moses to let Israel know that his Sabbath is to be celebrated, observed, and kept holy. I'm going to read just a verse because it is cold out here. And so it's also dark, and I just want to make the point that Yahweh laws are to be kept and regarded by his people. Yes, I'm just going to read a few verses. He says, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, surely my Sabbaths you shall keep, for they are a sign between me and you throughout your generation, that you may know that I am Yahweh, who sanctifies you and make you holy. You shall keep the Sabbaths therefore, for they are holy to you. Everyone who profanes it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever does any work on that day, that person shall be cut off from among his people. Yes, Yahweh's Sabbath is to be kept throughout all generations, and it is a sign between Yahweh and his people. I think I just want to do one more verse for us so that we can see for ourselves that the Yahweh Sabbath is determined by the noon and not days. Yahweh's Sabbath is determined by the moon, the new moon, and the four quarters of the moon. I'm gonna do this quickly. It's getting late. This is what Yahweh say. This is what Father Yahweh showed me. Behold the basket of summer fruit. And he said, Emma, see? What do you see? And I said, a basket of summer fruits. Then Yahweh said to me, the end has come upon my people Israel. I will not pass by them anymore. And the songs of the sanctuary will be wailing in that day, says Father Yahweh. Many dead bodies in every place. They will throw them out in silence. Hear this, O you who swallowed up the needy and destroy the poor in the land, saying, listen to it, saying, when will the new moon be over, so we may sell grain, and the Sabbath, that we may trade in wheat, making the effort small, the basket great, falsifying the seal by deceit, so we may buy the poor for silver, and the needy for a pair of shoes. Yes, we will even sell the refused grain. Yes, we can see that the oppressors of Yahweh's people could not wait for the new moon to pass and the Sabbath to be over to oppress the poor. Yes, I just read that for us to know. You know, as I watch the moon, the new moon, as it comes up and as it grows from face to face and faithfully declare Yahweh's Sabbath, I saw the last crescent. That was yesterday morning, which was the 5th day of the biblical week, showing to us who are watching that the month is coming to a close. The month of Tebeth is coming to a close. And this is the last Sabbath, the 4th and last Sabbath of the month of Tebeth. Following the Sabbath, which begins now and tomorrow, will be the day of the dark moon, which is the 30th of the 10th month. It's called the day of the dark moon or the day of translation. And that will be Friday on man's Gregorian calendar. And the new moon is going to be on Saturday. On Saturday and Rome's Gregorian calendar. So many of us will be looking forward. I will be looking forward to having a Yahweh set apart Sabbath on his holy Yahweh set apart Sabbath and Saturday, which we were accustomed to worship. Time is far spent. Let us remember Yahweh's Sabbath day to keep it holy. Let us remember that Yahweh regard his words. And whether we be kings or prince, when we disobey Yahweh, his wrath is against us and we are out of grace. We remember when Adam transgressed, he was driven from the garden. When Gadriel, who is called Satan, rebelled against heaven's government, Scripture tells us in Daniel 12, I think 1 to 7, that there was war in heaven. And so Gabriel, who is called Satan, was expelled from Yahweh's sight. Even the great Moses was prevented from entering the promised land because instead of speaking to the rock, he struck the rock. Let us remember that to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Let us also remember that if we are willing and obedient, we shall eat the good of the land. But if we refuse and rebel, we will be devoured by the sword. Yahweh's Sabbath is a sign between Yahweh and his people throughout all generations. Holy Sabbath day of rest, by Yahusha richly blessed. To us a sign shall be throughout all eternity. Happy Sabbath. It's Yahweh's Sabbath of the 4th quarter of the moon, and it's the last Sabbath of the 10th month, TEBETH 29th. Let us remember that our sin separates us from Yahweh, our Father. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Have a happy Sabbath. Walk with Yahweh, walk in truth, walk in holiness and righteousness. Shalom. To us a sign shall be throughout all eternity. Shalom. Happy Sabbath.